And of course, what's this got to do with the enterprise? So the way we look at this is, when you connect it to the enterprise, in the enterprise, many of you, and the technology that we create for you, is all about building infrastructure so somebody else can build experiences. So everybody's heard this line, every company is a software company. I think this is one of the most repeated lines now. And why is that important? It's important because the experiences a company creates becomes a competitive advantage. Because more and more, every business, there are many competing businesses for any business, whether it is Hard Rock, or whether it's Hilton, or whether it's any other hospitality provider, there are competing businesses. Now, what Hard Rock has done with the Unity platform, which you're going to hear about in a little bit when Macario speaks, is all about creating awesome experiences, digitally connecting everything and giving people an amazing experience. That becomes a competitive advantage. That becomes an advantage for why somebody chooses to stay at this kind of facilities versus some other kind of facilities. And those experiences cannot be bought. You have to create them, right? So what that means is every business, if you are using digital as a tool for competitive advantage, has to create software. And that's what this tagline, sort of, that every company is a software company means. But of course, it's not easy to do that. So there was a really great McKinsey article that came out in December 2022. This is fully worth reading if you haven't seen this. It identifies 6 different traits or different aspects that you must go after in order to deliver on this statement, every company is a software company. Let me just briefly go through the 6. The first is that commit to a software culture. And software culture is a different kind of culture from a non-software culture. Software culture involves failing fast, involves experimentation, involving accepting iteration, involves lots of things that are not the traditional way of doing business. So accepting a software culture and committing to that culture in a business is not something that is easy for a business to do. If you're an insurance company, if you're a shipping company, if you're a retail company, if you're a manufacturer, if you're a food service company, software is not the thing. It's a thing that enables you to do stuff. But to now become competitively advantaged using software, you need to create and adopt a software culture, which is quite difficult. The second one is invest in empowered product managers. So empowered product managers means the people who deliver software, the people who own that product and the experience, they must be able to operate within their realm, with their customers, and deliver what they need to deliver without having to go through all kinds of organizational structure and politics. Engineering excellence becomes critical. Autonomous teams and flexible architecture. If a business has a very rigid structure, whether it's a team structure or the architecture, it's very, very difficult to innovate. Because innovation comes not from doing things from scratch anymore. Innovation comes from building on things other people have done to create new things, new experiences, new qualities, new capabilities, new whatever. To do that, you need to have access to everything. So the flexible architecture matters a lot. The software ecosystem game is very important. Software ecosystem game basically means it's what Gartner calls composable business. So the idea is that if you don't get into the mode of saying, hey, I'm not going to create everything. I'm going to offload as much as possible. It's in the service-oriented economy, it's about saying I'm going to consume services from somebody else to do my business. In the software world, it's saying I'm going to consume APIs or events or various units of software capability in building what I need. And on the internet, this has been done quite well. If you want to send SMSs to somebody, you would use Twilio or a competitor to Twilio. You would never try to figure out how do I do it without that. It's not worth it, right? Similarly, there are many layers of APIs and capabilities that are available on the internet. But when you come within the business, it's a lot more difficult. Some businesses have done that really, really well and managed to create that kind of infrastructure. But creating that is critical to being able to become a software company. And of course, if you are a software company, you also need to learn how to sell software or go to market with the software. Use software as a differentiator, not just the physical or the non-software capabilities of the business. The last part is absolutely important. In the end, software doesn't get written by itself, at least not yet, not till AI takes over and puts us all out of a job. But we're not there yet, and maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't get there. But it's not there yet. So people have to write this stuff. Developers have to write this stuff. So if developers don't enjoy the environment that they have to work in and they're frustrated, they won't work there. There was a time, if you guys remember, there was something called Facebook for Work that came up a long time ago. I think it's gone now. Right? It was basically an internal social network. And now, of course, there are similar capabilities in multiple things. At that time, if you worked in a company that was running on IBM mainframes, right? I used to work at IBM for 8 years, and IBM's a great company. Mainframes are incredible product, but green screen experience, right? Form filling on simple screens. That was how you got things done within the business. If that's how you have to do things versus you have a much more experienced, convenient way through an app that lets you, that knows your calendar, knows everything, just works, then it's a better place to work, basically. So a software engineer who wants to be able to operate and create experiences effectively, they need that experience. Otherwise, they will find a better place to work. So if you get people involved with things that are not relevant and interesting for them, they will move on to something else, and you will not get the best engineers.